Over the past couple of months, I've been actively pursuing minimalism and a more minimalist lifestyle. From decluttering to organizing and building an environment that encourages the achievement of my long-term goals, I've learned a lot throughout this short time. And today, I wanted to share 5 things that I've learned so far as a beginner minimalist. The first thing that I've learned from adopting minimalism is you need to start with a goal. If I were to start from scratch again, I would have started by setting a goal for myself. Why do I want to declutter all of this in the first place? For me, I had too much physical clutter and it was preventing me from doing the things that I want and I need to do. I started by decluttering the low-hanging fruit or the immediate I don't need this items. It wasn't until I started becoming a little bit more indecisive with my decisions that I really needed to step back and reevaluate my why. For me, it helped to specify my long-term goals and only hold on to items that helped me achieve those things. By only holding on to what's important, I started to build an environment that encourages growth in the areas that I care about. Number 2, it's not a race to zero. Minimalism and decluttering are not a numbers game, nor is it a race to see who can own the least items. It's about keeping what's essential and most important to you. While it may not be minimal for somebody else to have a 12U server rack that weighs like 200 pounds, for me, because it supports my long-term goals of learning more about hardware, tinkering with software, and a lot of offensive security, I keep it because that's what it helps me with. Minimalism is supposed to be freeing, so don't declutter things that you know you'll end up needing again just out of decluttering it. Number 3, I haven't regretted any of it. I'm a pretty sentimental person, and I like to have a lot of physical items that remind me of things like trips, gifts, and other things that I find important in my life. When it came around to where I was considering decluttering those kinds of items, I was extremely hesitant at first. It initially felt that if I were to throw this item away or donate this item or declutter it in any other way, I felt I was parting from a piece of myself. However, after I started doing it a little bit more, it became significantly easier, and I learned pretty quickly that the value and the sentiment that item has is not actually within the item, but it's within me. One of the most freeing decisions I've made was to sell my framework laptop. As much as I love the laptop, I just didn't use it. And I always tried to find some way to fit it into my life, to come up with an excuse to keep it. And once I made the executive bite the bullet decision that I'm just going to get rid of it, no matter how much I miss it or how much I might regret the process, I didn't actually regret it at all. And since then, I've been decluttering a lot more aggressively. And for the times that I was worried that I was going to regret parting with some item, taking a photo of it helped a lot with that peace of mind. However, I haven't looked back on any of those pictures yet. And number 4, I make much higher quality decisions. As I've learned more about my personal values and how to build an environment that encourages me to put the most time and energy into those things, I've realized I'm a lot more strict about the items I introduce into my life. And I think this happens because of 2 main things. The first is my physical space has a lot more value to me. It not only holds my belongings, but impacts the way that I think and feel throughout the day. These are items that I see on a daily basis and items that I use almost on a daily basis. And if it's not something that supports my values, then I don't need the item. The second is I will only consider it if it fills a unique place that nothing I already own can. The same can be kind of said with replacements, where I will purchase an upgraded version and then declutter the previous one. I will also likely put a little bit more money into a higher quality version if I know that I am going to be using it extremely often. This isn't to say that minimalism should discourage you from introducing new items from your life. It's about being as practical as possible with the things that you do introduce and making sure that they support the things that are the most important to you. We all develop new hobbies, new interests, and more, and the last thing we want to do is box ourselves into a place where we can no longer grow. Number 5 is more mental clarity. Perhaps the most important thing that minimalism has taught me so far is how much mental clarity it brings. I have less to worry about, I have less to focus on, and less mundane or redundant decisions to make on a day-to-day basis. By simplifying the things around me, I can preserve a lot more energy and gain a lot more time to put towards those things that are most important to me. And as a result of this, I've realized that I'm a lot more present in anything that I do, whether spending time with friends and family, or simply working on a project or an assignment or doing anything at all. I no longer feel pressure or that noise in the back of my mind telling me I need to be productive, I need to stay busy, or I need to do all these other things. Because most times they're unimportant, and by eliminating all of those from my life, I'm a lot more present, I'm a lot more intentional, and it's really helped me with mental clarity and just spending more quality time and finding more value in the little things. And one funny thing that I've noticed is that physical minimalism has helped me a lot with procrastination. It was pretty easy to procrastinate doing anything at all by organizing or cleaning or anything like that. And the main issue that made me pursue minimalism in the first place was I was restructuring and reorganizing clutter, but it was still there and it was still in the back of my mind. And because I own significantly less, there's not really anything to organize. If there's any kind of resistance or procrastination, a lot of times there's nothing else to physically do other than the thing that is right in front of me. And that's helped a whole lot with my procrastination. Minimalism so far has taught me to keep the most important things in my life and to place the most energy and time towards those things. I've since learned to be a lot more intentional, and I found significantly more clarity and value in the life that I live. I hope these 5 things could help you in the same way that they have for me. I still do have a long ways to go with my decluttering process and my organizing process. I will say my digital life is an absolute train wreck. It is very, very disorganized. So I'll definitely make a video in the future covering my digital minimalism approach. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. With that, my name is Ren, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye for now.